This isn't just an auto industry headline. This is a warning label for an entire country. Because while General Motors celebrates record profits and executives toast strong results, 1,200 Canadian families are staring at the same brutal question. What happens to us now? If you've ever said the system feels rigged, this story shows you exactly how it happens, quietly, legally, and fast. So here's my challenge. Watch until the end, because the final takeaway is the part that can actually protect your job, your city, and your future. Now let's break down what really happened and why it matters to everyone, even if you've never stepped inside a factory. In the early hours of January 30th, 2026, the news spread like wildfire across Oshawa. The third shift was being eliminated. That means 700 workers clocking out with uncertainty hanging over them, plus another 500 supply chain workers and related roles caught in the blast radius. These aren't numbers. These are people with car notes, rent, kids in school, and a life built around stable work. And the part that stings the most? GM isn't collapsing. GM is thriving. The company just posted $12 billion in profit for 2025, then turned around and announced a $6 billion share buyback to reward shareholders. So to workers, the message feels crystal clear. There was money, there was success, but it wasn't for you. Jeff Gray, the president of Unifor Local 222, called the situation devastating because when a shift is wiped out, it's not just one paycheck that disappears. It's the routine, the dignity, the stability. It's the sense that hard work actually leads to security. And in a city like Oshawa, when a major plant cuts a shift, the pain doesn't stop at the factory gates. It spreads into diners, barbershops, mechanics, and grocery stores. It spreads into marriages. It spreads into mental health. It spreads into kids watching their parents pretend everything's fine. The role of Trump's tariffs. Now here's where this stops being just business. The layoffs are being tied, directly or indirectly, to trade pressure and tariff politics. Because Oshawa isn't making some random product nobody needs. The plant builds trucks that sell like crazy. And here's the key comparison. The comparison. Oshawa and Fort Wayne, Indiana both build the same family of pickups, including the Silverado. The shift. While Oshawa cuts jobs, Fort Wayne expands and adds workers. The tariff pressure. Trump's tariff posture creates a simple incentive. Build in America or pay a penalty. So from the worker's perspective, this feels like a decision made in a boardroom with one goal. Avoid the tariff, please the politics, protect the profit. And the timeline makes it feel even more calculated. Workers started hearing signals months earlier, whispers of changes in scheduling, strange pauses, hints that something was coming. Even when layoffs were delayed, the fear wasn't removed. It was stretched, like a slow, stressful countdown. That's what people don't understand about job cuts. It's not only the day you lose the job, it's the months before it, when your stomach tightens every time your phone buzzes. Mark Carney and Canada's new strategy. This is where the story gets bigger than GM, because when one company can pressure a country or be pressured by a foreign leader, the real issue isn't one plant, it's dependence. Canada's leadership has been signaling a shift. Diversify trade, reduce vulnerability, stop playing a game where your economy can be squeezed by one partner's political mood. Carney's message at Davos was blunt, and it landed like a warning flare. If you're not in the room making decisions, you become the thing being decided about. And in a world where tariffs and trade can change overnight, that's not a dramatic line. That's survival strategy. So Canada's new posture is about building options, stronger relationships, more trading partners, more leverage, so that when the next tariff wave hits, the entire nation doesn't get forced to beg for mercy. Because here's what Oshawa is teaching the whole country. When your economy depends too heavily on one pipeline, anybody who controls that pipeline can squeeze you. The real betrayal. And this is where the word betrayal starts showing up. Because from a worker's point of view, this isn't just a company adjusting. This is a company making billions on the backs of loyal workers, then choosing to reward shareholders while families lose stability. That's why unions repeat the same line like a battle drum. If you sell here, build here. Not as a slogan, as a warning. Because without that principle, the game becomes simple. 1. Sell to a community. 2. Profit from that community. 3. Abandon that community when the political wind changes. And if people don't push back, it becomes normal. What this means for you: even if you don't work in a factory, this story still matters. Because the logic of this decision is spreading everywhere. Tech companies do it, retail does it, manufacturing does it, streaming platforms do it. Even stable careers get hit when profits become the only compass. So the real takeaway isn't just GM did something bad. The takeaway is, if profits are the reward, then pressure is the weapon, and ordinary people are the target. If you're serious about change, don't treat this like gossip. Treat it like a lesson, because you can't protect your future with motivation alone. You protect it with awareness, unity, and smart action. So here's what I want you to do. Share this with one person who still believes hard work automatically guarantees security. Comment your stance. If a company sells in your country, should it be required to build there too? And most importantly, pay attention to policies before they become layoffs. Because once the shift is gone, it's not just jobs that disappear. It's confidence. It's community stability. It's the idea that tomorrow will be better than today. And if we don't learn from Oshawa now, we'll be watching the same story happen somewhere else next.